it!
GBNews does pay attention to those who are ignored by the mainstream media. The majority of this country whose forefathers fought and died to maintain liberty, to fight for freedom of speech.
The rule of law, the rights of property and democracy. This is the heritage that our country should be so proud of.
Which of course includes our Christian heritage. There's been a huge resurgence in the number of people going to church. Perhaps they're not finding what they're looking for, and they're looking for something a bit deeper, a bit more truthful, a bit more akin to Britain's Christian heritage.
That's right, get ready, because the most exciting night in general election history starts now!
How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, thank you very much to our wonderful live studio audience. It's already been a busy night. Anyway, it's 9 p.m. I'm Patrick Christys tonight.
Good morning. Go to work.
Our friends are starving to death in UK prisons.
Have a sandwich then.
Do you have any sympathy for the Palestine Action protesters on hunger strike?
No.
OK, and?
대 같은 믿음과 사랑으로 우리 무력을 사상 정신과 절신.
Well, that might have looked like Kim Jong-un, but was it Keir John Starmer? Yeah? I mean, seriously, Starmer is accused of running a dictatorship after cancelling even more elections. Plus, protesters attack the King's chair in the House of Lords. What shall we do with him? And Tom Skinner is suing the BBC. Yes, that's right. He says that Strictly Come Dancing vote is rigged. Well, is this the worst year ever for the Beeb? Also,
there was never been a proper focus on prevention. This isn't just about how we make it so that victims have a better service. This is also about how we prevent that violence from being able to happen in the first place.
On that note, do boys need anti-misogyny lessons in school? What do we think? Do you think we could have done? No? All the men saying it, though, isn't it? All the men. All the women here are going, yeah, actually, he could have done with a couple, you know. Anyway, right, on my panel tonight, we have got journalist and broadcaster Linda Jubilee. We've got broadcasting royalty Christo Fufas. Everybody's favourite lefty is Benjamin Butterworth. Oh. It is Panto season, mate. It is Panto season. And the former Tory Special Advisor, all-round great guy, James Price. And I regret to inform you, they're back again. Oh, I know, the whole thing is awful. Anyway, get ready, Britain. Here we go. Is this the worst year ever for the BBC? That's next.
Patrick, thank you. The top stories. David Walliams strongly denies allegations of inappropriate behaviour and was not informed about or party to an investigation by HarperCollins, his spokesperson has said this evening. He was dropped by his publisher, HarperCollins. The decision follows a Daily Telegraph investigation into claims the children's author had harassed junior women during his time working with the company. According to the Telegraph, a female employee who raised concerns about Walliams' alleged conduct later left HarperCollins after reaching a settlement which included a 5-figure payment. The publisher reportedly launched an internal inquiry in 2023 after a complaint was made, interviewing multiple staff members who had professional contact with the author. A spokesman for HarperCollins told The Telegraph, after careful consideration and under the leadership of its new CEO, HarperCollins UK has decided not to publish any new titles by David Walliams. The author is aware of this decision. They go on to say HarperCollins takes employee well-being extremely seriously and has processes in place for reporting and investigating concerns. To respect the privacy of individuals, we do not comment on internal matters. Mr. Walliams has now strongly denied the allegations made against him. The US Justice Department will soon begin releasing long-awaited files related to Jeffrey Epstein as mandated by a new law, a top official says. But the files will not be released in their entirety before the legal deadline, the US Deputy Attorney General says. The US Department of Justice are legally obligated to make all files related to the investigation into Epstein public by midnight on Friday following the passing of the Epstein Files Transparency Act. Epstein was found dead in his cell at a federal jail in New York in 2019. While he awaited trial on sex trafficking charges, his death was ruled a suicide. In other news, Bridget Phillipson has been accused of blocking the publication of trans guidance that would force business and public bodies to protect women-only spaces. It's understood the Women and Equalities Minister has given a statement to the High Court describing the proposed rules as trans-exclusive, has failed to sign them off more than 3 months after receiving them. That's despite the guidance being based off the Supreme Court's ruling on biological sex. YouTuber Jake Paul takes on Olympic and former heavyweight boxing champion Anthony Joshua in a few hours' time in a highly anticipated and widely criticised bout in Miami. Boxing promoter Frank Warren spoke to GB News ahead of the fight.
Money, that's why they're doing it. From AJ's perspective, he's getting a massive purse to fight a guy who's had 12 fights, fought nobody of any of significance, of a young fighter. He's not, take out a 58-year-old Mike Tyson. And, Jake's stepping up to the plate. He's the one who's stepping up. He's had 12 fights, no amateur experience. He's got, as I say, no names on his resume. Two-time world champion, big puncher, natural heavyweight against a guy who's heaviest he's fought has been cruiserweight, which is a weight below Olympic gold medalist. This is a big, big ask of Jake Paul, but you've got to take your hat off to him for stepping up to the plate against what I would say for him is a massively live fighter.
And Prince Harry and Meghan have just released their official Christmas card. The message reads, on behalf of the Office of Prince Harry and Meghan, Duke and Duchess of Sussex and Archwell, we wish you a very happy holiday season and a joyful new year. Those are the latest headlines. For now, more in an hour.
For all the latest from GB News whilst you're on the go, get the GB News app. Scan the QR code now to download or visit gbnews.com/app.
Thank you very much to my wonderful live studio audience. This is great. Loads of people in tonight. You love to see it. So, news broke today that this guy is suing the BBC.
I've just got back from my first day dancing for Strictly Come Dancing. I absolutely loved it today.
Bosh, yes, that's right. Tom Skinner is suing them, claiming that Strictly Come Dancing vote is rigged. He claims the BBC deliberately downplayed his public vote to boot him off because of negative headlines. He says he has proof, and presumably so does his lawyer. So I wonder if this caps off the worst year ever for the BBC.
Suing the BBC for putting words in my mouth, literally, they put words in my mouth. They had me saying things that I never said, so we'll be bringing that lawsuit. A lot of people are asking, when are you bringing that lawsuit? Even the media can't believe that one.
President Trump is suing them for $10 billion. They might have to start playing adverts for the first time in their history. The Director General resigned.
Deborah, have you found the BBC? I would like to say it has been the privilege of my career to serve as the CEO of BBC News and to work with our brilliant team of journalists. I stepped down over the weekend because the buck stops with me. But I'd like to make one thing very clear. BBC News is not institutionally biased.
Well, she would say that, wouldn't she? Anyway, that is the CEO, former, of BBC News, having to resign. BBC Verify was unable to account for why so many anti-Semites just randomly appeared on their Arabic news channel, or why the son of a Hamas minister appeared on a documentary.
Let me tell you our story. Who knows? One day you might need it.
They also got rid of this guy because he apparently has autism, and that's one of the reasons why he doesn't like keeping his trousers on. Seriously, that was his excuse. I know, it just makes you think, doesn't it? You can say what you like these days, can't you? But anyway, then in April it emerged that the BBC spent £500,000 restoring a paedophile statue right outside their offices. I mean, brilliant. I'm glad we're on the hook for that. Also, the BBC News channel has been absolutely spanked in the ratings by us for about 6 months now. So there we go. Hey! Magic. You love to see it. 300,000 fewer people paid the licence fee this year, and if it turns out that the public vote on their flagship show, Strictly Come Dancing, was rigged, well, can you imagine how many heads would have to roll for that? So I'm wondering, is this the worst year yet for the BBC? Let's get the views of my wonderful panel. Christo, you look like you are up to no good this evening, so I'll start with you. Go on, what?
Well, no, I'm all right. I do have to actually confess, though, that my ADHD means I'm not wearing any underwear. That's OK, isn't it? Is that all right? That's...
Yeah, it's going to have to be. Thankfully, it's quite cold in here, so yeah, it's not a problem.
It's absolutely normal, I think, you'll find in the world.
I hope there's no fire alarms when you just have to stand up at the desk.
Oh, no, I've got trousers on. There's nothing under them because of my mental health problem. Because, you know, that's what happens nowadays. Like, you have to... OK, I've got some breaking news for Thomas Skinner, all right?
OK.
OK. If anyone believes that Strictly Come Dancing is actually looking for the best dancer, they are deluded. If anyone watched The X Factor thinking that they were actually looking for a brilliant singer, you are deluded. They are making a television show. Of course the vote is rigged. Now, that's not to say that the vote is, as in, they lie about the figures.
Yeah.
They don't do that, I don't believe. But what they do is they push certain celebrities that they want to stay in. The judges aren't actually... Do you think the judges actually sit there and, on the spur of the moment, decide to judge the dances based on what they've just seen? Of course not. The producers have done it beforehand. They've all been told what to say.
Yeah, he says that he has proof that they downplayed the size of his public vote.
We've all downplayed size sometimes, you know what I mean? Some of us have exaggerated. That's what happens in the world of television.
Well,
one of the reasons I'm not wearing my underwear.
Yeah, all right. Can I just say, Joe, some of you on this, is if this turns out to be true, if he does successfully sue the BBC over this, and obviously there's a lot of ifs at play here, but that is actually huge. That's like their flagship show with a public vote, and if it turns out they've rigged it, well, I mean, that's probably worse than when they edited that Trump clip together.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if this does come out, what does it say about the rest of their programming? How can you trust anything else they say? I know it's a light-hearted show and all the rest of it, but of course, if he does successfully sue them, they're not going to have that much money left over to pay President Trump, who's suing them for, and I think you've got to do this now, Austin Powers style, $10 billion, which is a pretty big... But I think there's a serious point on the Trump side, why I do think this is one of the worst years the BBC has ever had. We all know that American news is so bifurcated. There's big lefties, big righties, all the rest of it. The BBC had this great opportunity to come in, and we all know, I'm married to an American, we all know how much the Yanks love a British accent. Yeah. The BBC could have had this great soft power of going and being trusted and sane and helping America out. And as it is, they've shown their colours that they don't care about impartiality at all and have upset the most powerful man in the world in the process. That is a terrible thing for the public service broadcaster to do, and it reflects really badly on the country here.
So in terms of how the year's gone, right, so your Director General's gone, your CEO of News is gone, you've accidentally paid the son of a Hamas minister.
Who hasn't done that one, eh?
Whoopsie. I remember that time I did that, you know, oh, God, never lived that one down.
There's no one on the panel.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah,
I've got a direct debit.
Yeah, being sued by the leader of the free world, restoring a paedophile statue, not even by mistake, like just knowingly. It was bad. I mean, it's a bad year for the BBC.
There's still a fortnight to go.
Yeah, and a lot can happen in a fortnight. Yeah, I think it's a very bad year. I think that you're quite right. The trouble is, although it's a light-hearted show that everyone really enjoys, once you're caught out lying, it really says everything about the future. Someone once said, you know, it's not that you lied to me, it's I can't believe you in the future. And it will spread...
What had you lied about?
I've heard that a few times.
Why did they say that to you?
We don't need to know, all right? But can you tell us?
Yeah. No. But I think that the BBC has had a very, very bad year.
Yeah.
And to lose your Director General and your Head of News on the same day over this edit, they call it a Franken edit, Frankenstein edit, because it was so brutal, it was so blunt, it was so obvious to everyone it was a bad edit. And it is breaking the golden rule of editing. I mean, it's the one thing you shouldn't do as a television journalist is telescope quotes in that way. And they were mealy-mouthed about it. You know, they said that, well, the spirit of the interview, it didn't deny the spirit of the interview, etc., etc. End of. That's a bad, bad edit. And they deserve to be chastised over it.
There was another thing I kind of should have lobbed in there, probably, which was Gary Lineker ultimately shuffled off, eventually, match of the day. And they've not...
There's also a Strictly rape allegation as well at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
As well, which, you know, we can't talk about that, but I mean...
No, it's just, and yet remarkable, really, given that you just brought it up on...
we can't debate it, but what I'm saying is that you know, that's one of the least of their problems at the moment. I think that you can be not surprised why, when you look at all the problems around Strictly and the BBC, why Tess and Claudia have left.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. It says that about...
exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Bad year for the BBC, Ben.
Look, nothing shows how desperate you are to attack the BBC that you're pretending Thomas Skinner could dance. that man made Anne Widdecombe look like Darcy Bussell, OK? And you can't do a bad edit on that programme because it's filmed live, so he only has himself to account for. This is a grifter who wants attention. It'll be familiar to you, Christo, and that is the only reason they're doing it. And so, you know, the BBC has made some mistakes this year, but an organisation of that scale, of that, you know, that its attention to everything it does, is going to have that. But it remains the most trusted news source in the world and in the UK. And frankly, I would trust the BBC any day.
Does anyone in the audience have a vomit bag that I could borrow after Benjamin's little diatribe there? Right, firstly, they made those mistakes. Now, mistakes happen. Mistakes happen in journalism. You'll know mistakes happen in journalism. All sorts of mistakes happen. But they knew and didn't do anything about it. That was the problem.
Not just that. They knew about it and they covered it up and they said, oh, it's fine. Because this report that came out, and I know, I'm friends with the person who wrote this report that then got leaked. It's very well researched, a very decent man who, unlike me, the guy still actually really loves the BBC and cares about it. Yeah. He said this, the report went all the way up to the board, it went all the way up to the top people. They looked at it and said, doesn't matter, let's just carry on editing, lying, all the rest of it.
No doubt, with like 55 different members.
But come off it. No, come off it.
Do you really think that Thomas Skinner, it's a genuine dance show where they genuinely just go for the people who are dancing the best?
It was it was a public vote, right? Why don't you just trust the people?
Half judges vote. You clearly don't watch the show, Benjamin.
I do watch it. I do watch it, and it's a public vote that would have decided he was in the bottom two. He was clearly a terrible dancer, and the fact is that why would they invite him on the show if they only wanted to get rid of him?
Terrible dancers,
he was just unpopular.
Have never gone through, have they? Terrible dancers have never prospered in that show, have they? And it's always been judged on the best dance.
I would trust the BBC over Donald Trump any day. We know Trump is a compulsive liar that relies on the furore in reaction to his lies.
But
him suing the BBC shows we should trust him.
If that were true, it's so much worse that they lose all moral high ground about this by proving Trump right about something. If you don't like him, the BBC proved him to be right. They're probably going to make him a lot richer as a result.
One of the other aspects, Linda, as well, again, just again kind of capitulating this annus horribilis for the BBC, is that 300,000 or so licence fee payers have decided to not renew their licence fee. They might have to start showing... Well, there's a few in this room, actually, I think, aren't there? Yes, lots of people. Although I am politely reminded every single time I say this on television that apparently you really do need a TV licence to watch this show. So I would go back in time and remove your hands that were raised. You're going to get a knock on the door.
That makes it worth every penny.
The licence fee, by the way, the licence fee gets at the heart of a lot of the mendacity with the BBC, right? They used to send around letters saying, we have detector vans with technology, and we know. Now, that's a lie. That stuff doesn't exist. So, like, you talked earlier on about Kim Jong-un and the rest of it. We'll talk about that. But you've got a state broadcaster going around saying to people, we've got the technology to know, we're always going to find out, and all this kind of stuff, and lying to the... It is totally dystopian, and lying. And then you have the BBC Verify set up. So we're the bit of the BBC that's going to tell you the truth. Not only only did they not, and the person that runs it lied on her CV, much like the Chancellor, but if the verify bit is the bit that's telling the truth, what is the rest of the thing doing?
Exactly.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah. I mean, the fact is that when you've got the BBC when the BBC first set up, and OK, you get the licensing, you're licensing the actual TV set. The minute you've got ITV, you are starting to lose the reason why you need a licence fee. And now that we've got multi-streaming everywhere, you can watch a multitude of channels. Why exactly are we paying the licence fee?
Wow.
Why is anyone paying the licence fee?
I have really enjoyed the start of tonight's show. It feels risky, but I think it's OK. Anyway, the BBC told... I suppose we'll find out tomorrow, won't we? The BBC told GB News when approached about the claims Strictly Come Dancing's public vote is robust and independently overseen and verified to ensure complete accuracy. There you go. Well, that's that then. We can all go home, can't we? Fantastic. Lots more. Yeah, love it.
I believe that.
I believe it.
I do believe
it. Right, OK. Anyway, talking about something that really is independently verified, and so much so that GB News presenters are banned from entering, it's the Great British Giveaway! And it's your chance to win our biggest cash prize of the year. It's an incredible £85,000 with all that extra cash in the bank. That could be 2026 on us. And here's how you can be in it to win it.
It's the big one. Your chance to win a whopping £85,000 in tax-free cash. The largest cash prize we've given away to date. That's like over £7,000 a month extra in your bank account each month for 12 whole months. That's a year of yes. Yes to holidays, yes to treats, yes to shopping trips, yes to home improvements. What would you say yes to? For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Well, we've got loads more coming your way, including this.
Our friends are starving to death in UK prisons!
Have a sandwich then.
I mean, you know, fair enough in a way, really. But does anyone in this room have sympathy for the Palestine action protesters who are currently on hunger strike? No, you're an unforgiving bunch, aren't they? An unforgiving bunch. Anyway, we'll talk about that when we come back.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pearce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
no,
isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're
the failure
deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co. weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk then?
No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
In the GB newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News.
The People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Mornings don't have to be tiresome, especially if you have the right company.
Wake up to news as it happens, opinion and debate, and of course, a little bit of entertainment too.
Because when the kettle's on, we're on.
That's Breakfast on GB News, a show worth waking up for.
Every morning from 6 a.m.
Only on the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
We'll spread the news, you spread the word.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much to everyone who has made the journey. So, 8 Palestine action supporters who are currently on remand have been on hunger strike now for weeks, protesting about being held in custody whilst they're awaiting trial.
Our friends are starving to death in UK prisons!
Have a sandwich then.
So, yeah, I mean, my friends are starving to death in UK prisons, and then he tells them to have an effing sandwich then, which, to be fair, is actually quite good advice if you're starving to death and food is available. But crowds have been gathering outside the prison and also, as well, on Oxford Street. Yes, look, they're obviously basically trying to essentially become martyrs for Palestine and for their particular group as well. The government says that prison procedures are being followed, whilst families and even MPs are now urging for there to be an intervention. In fact, one well-known MP, Zara Sultana, she turned up at the prison. And look, my concern is this, that if they are inside on hunger strike, which they are, and then they can hear that there's people outside with drums and kafirs saying things like, don't give up, yay, like, are they not likely to just starve themselves to death in a way that they might, like, at what point are they being encouraged, you know? Like, I think there's that, isn't it? But it's a good job that we've got a panel and an audience to talk to this about. Jen, I'll start with you. Do you have any sympathy for these hunger strikers who are now saying they need urgent hospital attention?
None whatsoever. When Zara Sultana of the Fruit and Nut Party, or whatever it's called today, did her first intervention on this, she said, oh, I've spoken to the people in the hospital who said that they're fine, but I still think they need to have an ambulance. And the point is supposed to be, if you are willing to die for your beliefs on these things, then that's what would happen as an inevitable consequence of it. One of these people has decided to go on hunger strike every other day, which is what I managed to do when I'm being particularly disciplined in my dry January. Intermittent fasting, right? Or the 5-2 diet, right? I'll only eat eggs every Monday and all this sort of stuff. Right? I mean, it's just completely farcical. Yeah, completely farcical about this stuff, let alone the fact that what they're doing is trying to back a terrorist organisation who have done all sorts of horrendous things, breaking into RAF sites and all the rest of it, and allegedly attacking a police officer and breaking her spine with a sledgehammer. You can see the footage around it. It's absolutely horrendous.
Well, yes,
but even if
at this point, just going to say that obviously these are alleged offences.
Allegedly.
Everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
Allegedly.
And they are yet to have their day in court. But carry on.
Exactly right. But as you say, there is also the risk of a kind of contagion, a social contagion. So we see this happening. More people that decide to do this, they might decide to keep gluing their hands again to streets or onto artwork and things like that. Yeah. And this is happening at a time when we've got strikes going on inside the NHS. So for everybody here who might be waiting for an operation that's been pushed back or have got friends or family who are poorly or the rest of it, their healthcare will be a lot worse as a result of these selfish people taking away resources when they don't need to do it because they could just go and have a sandwich.
We're going to go to Benjamin, and I believe someone else got a question on this. I'm trying to figure out who it is. Is it? Yes, hello. OK, right, get ready. Benjamin, your views first on this.
Well, I mean, I've spent a great deal of time in Israel, and I remember in June I met a woman who was a victim of the Nova Festival massacre on the 7th of October, and she had to be on so many anti-anxiety drugs to tell the story of that atrocity. Now, that is somebody whose life has been turned upside down by terrorism and who knows what it is like to be persecuted for who they are. It is no coincidence that the tactics of these people, like Greta Thunberg, who pretended to have been kidnapped by Israel when she took her flotilla into their waters, they are doing this to gaslight Jews and to gaslight Israelis. And they should be treated with respect. They should have access to hospital treatment because we are more dignified than the way people in Hamas and their supporters would behave. So we shouldn't disrespect these people. That doesn't make us better. But the fact is that refusing your cornflakes for a month does not give you the moral superiority over 65 million other people. They should go ahead and get a fair trial, and that is that, exactly as anybody else would who was accused of a crime.
Yeah, all right, so again, just a very polite reminder, I'm sure that you weren't going to stray into any dodgy legal territory, but they have, of course, not yet been found guilty of anything. They are always here. This is more about the hunger strike. They've put themselves in a situation where they need medical care, I suppose. What would you like to say about it?
Just a very simple question on it, which is, I didn't hear any people that are on hunger strike last year in 2024 talking about those political prisoners that were locked up through fast-tracked court cases. So, I mean, in my genuine opinion, it's clear hypocrisy from the left wing, as usual, because they talk about one thing if it fits their agenda, but not the other. So, with all due respect, you can eat a sandwich. That's pretty simple if you're on hunger strike. But the real question is, why did the left and those like Benjamin not talk about this last year when there was hunger strike, when there was political prisoners?
I see.
If they're calling them political prisoners, why did they not do that this time last year?
Your point really is that you think that there were a fair few people who've been locked up basically for tweets or Facebook posts who were, in your view, political prisoners, and we didn't see people from the left, you know, banging drums outside prison for them and all of that.
Exactly.
Basically, yeah. Well, OK, so it's an interesting point. Yeah.
I hadn't thought about it that way, but you're right. Thank you for exposing Benjamin's hypocrisy and the hypocrisy of the left once again. So they're only eating every other day. So
one of them is
like a Michael Molesey fast, basically. Right. That's what they're doing. I mean, you're quite right in as much as the people outside. I mean, if you've seen the state of some of the people outside of that prison banging the drum, you know, it's going to encourage them, not because they're going to feel like, you know, they're getting good encouragement. It's going to encourage them to think, well, maybe the end will come sooner, you know. I'll refuse food for another day. I have to listen to that.
Something you've not done in a while.
Thank you very much.
How catty it was going to go tonight.
Margaret Thatcher always said, when they get personal, you know that they've lost the argument.
There is a risk, though, here.
Yes.
There is a risk here. Seriously, like, for all of the kind of, well, let's be honest about the joking that we've had and everything, I do genuinely... I hope nobody actually dies, but they might. Right? And then they become martyrs, don't they?
That's the point.
That's the
I
thing.
think you raised this. You create the environment for aggression, and then it grows eventually into possible terrorist activities. I mean, that was the point when we saw the Bondi Beach shootings last week. We knew that previously there had been 300,000 people marching across the Sydney Harbour Bridge. Now, no one is suggesting that all 300,000, you know, of those people were radicalised, but it created an environment where terrorism could exist. And I think, I'm not talking about these specific crimes, but every time you build up the fury and the anger over things like this, you're just risking more instability in society. And to be quite honest, I mean, I think eating every other day is ridiculous. I think this is you know, to my mind, a little bit half-hearted. You know, you want to understand what hunger strike is. You want to see what women went through when they went on a hunger strike in Wormwood Scrubs to get the vote. They died.
Is it genuinely our opinion across the panel that they're not doing it properly enough?
No. They are doing it more than enough, and they need to eat something and look after their health, because some of them will have families, no doubt, as well, and maybe even kids. I don't know. And, you know, you should just eat some
willpower to.
But what happens exactly when more people who watch some of this stuff and go, OK, well, I don't like this issue, I don't like that
That's
issue,
what I'm saying.
and suddenly you start seeing this happening. And again, in a bigger version of this, for every Saturday you have these huge protests, screaming bloody murder, all these sorts of awful things. And to use the example from Sydney specifically, people the day after it happened started screaming "Gas the Jews," and then we wonder why a load of Jews go and get murdered not long afterwards. That could happen if these things escalate.
I will say is that I have very little sympathy for people who deliberately put themselves in catastrophic situations, like you've glued your hand to a road, or you're halfway up a suspension bridge, or, you know, in this case, you're very, very hungry, and then you say, well, I've now got health complications as a result of that, like I've ripped the skin off my hand when you got me off the road, or I'm starving to death, and I'm a bit like, well, now you want us to sort your mess out, don't you?
But just on a quick, serious note, remember Bobby Sands, of course. You know, that is, you know, the martyrdom that happened as a result of that, in Thatcher sort of standing firm on that. You know, that is serious.
Well, be interesting to see how the government handles it. Right, OK, coming up. So Angela Rayner resigned. I will just add the words "in disgrace" there. And now she's going to write a memoir. Presumably it's in crayon, but anyway.
You stole my joke.
No. Oh, no, did I? Sorry, there you go. Anyway, the rumours are that she is eyeing the top job. What do you think? Could Angela Rayner be the next Prime Minister? That's a shock. OK, more on that next.
I hope we haven't forgotten anything.
Travel insurance, I tick that box.
Yeah, but remember what you forgot last year.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
If you're contemplating a trip overseas at the moment, it is dry at first this weekend for many places, but low pressure will develop and it will bring increasingly heavy rain to many by the end of the weekend. We do have some rain to talk about. Parts of the south of Greece, southern Italy seeing that rain at first. Drier for the rest of Italy, dry for much of Iberia, but in between weather systems, a front pushing some rain into Portugal later. And then a developing area of low pressure will turn things increasingly wet across Italy and Greece.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Good evening. This is your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, for many, it is going to be a largely dry night to come, and with that, the potential for a bit of mist and fog to develop. And then, out in the west, there's a front that's pushing its way in, and that's set to bring some wet weather across western parts in particular as we go into tomorrow. Before that, though, as I mentioned, it is largely dry. Just a few showery outbreaks of rain across parts of Scotland and perhaps some western and southern counties of England and Wales, maybe a few pushing into parts of Northern Ireland too. Most places, though, having a dry night with clear skies, allowing temperatures to drop a bit chillier than some recent nights. Can't rule out a touch of frost and a few patches of mist and fog first thing tomorrow morning as well. Starting off tomorrow then, it is going to be a brighter story than some recent days this week. A few spots of rain affecting Orkney, a little bit of rain across some southern parts of Scotland as well, but mostly bright, although there could be some cloud around across parts of Scotland, and similar across Northern Ireland, just a few showers towards eastern coastal parts. More sunny skies for England and Wales. Like I mentioned, though, there will be a few pockets of mist and fog here and there. Vale of York, for example, and other prone spots. Any mist and fog could take a little while to clear as we go through tomorrow, but it will eventually clear and lift away. And then apart from the odd shower here and there, for many it is going to be a fine day with some decent sunshine on offer. Just that front that I highlighted earlier on pushing into parts of the Republic of Ireland, Devon, Cornwall and South West Wales bringing some wet and windy weather. Ahead of that, temperatures, well, they're a little bit above average for the time of year. Sunday looks set to be a cloudier day for many places. There will be a few outbreaks of rain here and there, nothing especially heavy for most places, just a bit grey, a bit damp at times, but worth noting could be some more persistent, perhaps heavy at times rain across parts of the southwest as we go through the afternoon. Into Christmas week, and it's set to turn drier, but also colder in time for the big day. Bye-bye.
In the GB newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK,
we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News,
the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
At GB News, we love to hear from you, our loyal community. So drop us a line at gbnews.com/yoursay. There you can talk to each other and also to the presenters live on air. gbnews.com/yoursay, because GB News is your channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much for an incredibly lively studio audience. Christys nipped out in the break for a cup of tea and... are you all right there?
Still not on a hunger strike, are you?
No, all that talk about hunger strike, and he had to go outside and get himself a biscuit. Anyway, right, now that's enough, it's disgusting. Right, now, guess who's back?
So I'm having a tin, I'm relaxing, I'm not bothered about what the far-right adjacent media are talking about on the stupid channels. I could not care less what people are saying on X, because do you know what? It doesn't matter what you say, and it doesn't matter what you do. Us Labours are going to continue to go from strength to strength.
No, that's not actually Angela Rayner. It's uncanny, though, isn't it? But yes, the former Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, who was always quick to hold up her political rivals to a much higher standard than her own, well, it looks like she is now set to release a memoir towards the latter half of next year. Well, what has she got to memoir? Oh, come on.
Well, I don't know. I think she has got quite a lot to memoir. I mean, it might not be to everyone's taste. It might not be your cup of tea. But frankly, it is rather amazing that someone as a child at 16 has to leave school and then goes to the second highest office in the land. I mean, that is something to write about. I'm not saying it's...
Well, it's a shame she has to resign in disgrace, then, isn't it?
But still something to write about.
It would be good if, like, she'd have done that, and then they could hold her up and go, you see, you can also be really good at the job. But she
She'll
write
her way round it.
Yes, she will.
That's the point.
We're going to find out that none of this was her fault at all.
That's right.
It was just a simple accountancy error.
Because this is in fact her clarion call to launch her leadership bid.
Which takes me on. With trumping her credentials as the working class hero, see there, and charting her rise through the trade union movements. All this basically, look, seriously, this is her pitch, isn't it? To be the next leader. I mean, James, you'll be buying the book, won't you, presumably?
Well, I'm a big fan of hers, obviously. It's true that Christopher Hitchens once said that there is a book inside everybody. It's just, in most cases, it should stay inside. That might be the case with her here. But you're right. Then this is what she will sit down and she'll go, right, OK, how can I lie about this bit? How can I spin this? How can I make that sound most palatable? If there's any other scandals out there, I can get them out here now. And then when she's confronted about it, I'm sure she'll come on to GB News and have a good grilling about it all. And she wouldn't shy away from the People's Channel. That she'll go, oh, well, that's in the book. I don't need to talk about it anymore. And then just move on with whatever she wants to talk about. It's a classic tactic. I hope it doesn't work.
And the best liars are the ones that can lie to themselves. So all the time she's telling herself these stories, she's believing them. And that's
dangerous. This is it. That's why I do to the mirror every single day. You are good-looking. You are worthy. You're here on merit. You're here on merit. You're not massively punching with your wife. You know, all of this stuff. All this stuff. Sorry, we lie. Anyway, so, right, is anyone here a fan of Angela Rayner? OK, well, does anyone want to say anything just relatively polite about Angela Rayner's chances of becoming the next Prime Minister? Whilst you think about it, Christa, do you think she might become the next Prime Minister?
Oh, God help us all. I mean, suddenly David Lammy seems competent and attractive. I know, that's perhaps a step too far. I know that at least she's going to sell a few copies, because she'll need one for the flat. She'll need one for the house. So a few copies sold, at least. Do you know what? Matt Hancock did this, didn't he? He wrote a book while he was an MP. I'd like to ban them writing these self-indulgent diatribes whilst they're still MPs.
In office.
I don't want to hear from them. I'm sorry, do your job as an MP. Are you not busy enough? Do you need more to do, Angie? Is there more that you need to do? Sorry.
It will be impressive to have an MP who's actually written more books than she's read, though.
Yeah.
Well, I've got bad news for you. She's not actually writing the book. It will be ghost-written.
It is.
Yeah. So unlike other people like Wes Streeting that did it themselves, she'll be getting someone else to do it.
Wes Streeting's got a book out.
Yeah, he released a memoir because...
Why is he doing a memoir? Why are these people doing memoirs when they're like not that far into their career?
Well, I mean, in US politics, it's normal that they write it as a pitch for their presidential bid to outline who they are. Look, I think that she probably isn't running for leader of the Labour Party if she's writing this book, because it will come out in the second half of next year, and the expectation is that if there is a Labour leadership election, it will be after the locals in May. So this would be very unhelpful timing. I think if she went for it, she would win and be Prime Minister, but I don't think she'll go for it because she has been through such a hell of a time. I don't think she wants the job, to be quite frank. I think she likes the idea of being perceived to want the job, a lot like Nigel Farage. They enjoy the rallying call. I don't think so.
I think there's a better chance than people think, all joking aside, that within the next year, one day, I am forced to sit here and say, Prime Minister Rayner has just entered Downing Street.
I bet you a tenner it won't happen. But I also think the reason she's got to write the book is because she has tens of thousands of pounds owing to HMRC because of what happened. So... If you actually boil it down, she has a massive tax bill. She said that she'd spent all her savings on getting the deposit for the new flat. So she would have to do something to raise the money.
Actually, if it's going to be written by a ghostwriter, what she needs is a sort of deluded left-wing commentator who loves everything she does. Ben, why don't you write it for her? You're perfect.
You also need a few quid.
I'll do anything for money. That's why I'm here.
Apparently, she's going to narrate the audiobook.
Oh, God.
The Tories, the Tories, the Tories.
OK, now, just in terms
Chapter
of
2.
whatever Angela Rayner had to resign for, she would obviously argue she made a genuine mistake and everything's above board and that nothing untoward happened at all, so that's good. But we'll hear about it in the book, won't we? So that's fine. Anyway, next, this studio is turning into Santa's workshop. Ooh. OK, well, stay tuned for that.
I'm Michelle Dewberry, this is Jubes & Co with you.
Hello everyone, Patrick Christys here to GB News.
Britain's news channel.
Access the stories that matter to you. Take the GB News family with you on any device. And as long as you have an internet connection. Tune in to GB News, anywhere on the planet or beyond. GB News, the People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation,
No,
isn't it?
because
the failure is...
You're deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
So he can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Daubney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world.
Am I allowed to talk
No,
now?
that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, this Trump made a good start. No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints. How many fingers have I got up?
About 10.
So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power?
Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber.
Get behind the headlines with Chopper's Political Podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics.
We'll see where this ruling takes us.
These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's Political Podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Is just around the corner, and we're going to turn this room into Santa's workshop. Basically, we were just scratching around for ideas about how to just make something remotely Christmassy today, and the best we could come up with was a Christmas wrapping paper competition. And so what we're going to do is we are going to see if two random members of the audience can wrap boxes better and quicker than two members of my panel. One of the members of the panel we told was going to do this earlier on, and he brought his own sellotape. Right?
Prepared.
Yeah, it's like the bloke who brings his own darts to the pub.
I said, can I borrow your sellotape? And what did you say?
Absolutely not. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win.
Right. So, now, I need two volunteers. Who's going to volunteer from the audience? Yeah, two lovely ladies here. Come on out. Come on down. Hey. One of these seats is a bit rickety, all right? So Christo nearly came a cropper earlier, so sit yourselves down. Try not to have any accidents. We can't let you sue the company. So what are your names? Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm Leslie from Herefordshire.
From Herefordshire. Lovely to meet you. Hello, and where are you from?
I'm Yvonne from Hampshire and Herefordshire.
Oh, there you go. What?
Herefordshire!
You don't know each other?
No.
Oh, right.
It's a big county.
We're big in Herefordshire, apparently, so there we are. Right, now, we need another box. I'll get Linda to come up and give you the box, if that's all right, Linda. Yep. Yes, thank you very much. So, when you are ready, choose your weapons. Have we got enough scissors here? Yes. We need more scissors, don't we? There we go. We've got a set of scissors there, set of scissors there. We've got scissors there. I'll get these. There we are. Now, the rules are, as I understand it, you just basically have to wrap these boxes better and quicker than Christo
only got one
and
roll of
James. So, do we think it's going to be okay? Yeah, I think it's going to be okay.
Or a bit short of paper.
No, you don't. I'll let you cut your paper now. Come on, let's get it done. Let's get it done. There we go.
Right.
See, this is why on Blue Pizza they did here's what I made earlier, isn't it? And now here we are.
Tampered with it, I think.
We've got half of Herefordshire who are unable to unlock wrapping paper. Right, OK, what we're going to do is we're just going to get going, OK? So, on my count, 3, 2, 1, start wrapping! Well, who's your money on here, everybody? Can I
Christo.
See a show of hands if you think maybe Christo's going to do it? Yeah, there's a few in here, isn't there? He's made decent progress so far. Now, Christo's not bothered with scissors. He's not...
Oh, yeah, that is clever.
He's not...
That's clever.
Look at what I'm doing. You're here to win, Ben.
OK. See, James is making a good fist of this. How are we getting on, Leslie?
Well, we only had one roll of thing in between us, didn't we?
You think it's rigged?
Yeah, definitely. A bit like Strictly.
So do you think... You think like Tom Skinner that maybe it's rigged? Maybe it's... Oh, sorry, Christo. Oh, no, your present's on the floor. Oh, no. Oh, OK, I think we're in... I think Hereford is making a good fist of it so far. There we go. Well done. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, James, it looks like the dog... It looks like the dog had it. Oh, you done it! And actually, that is not bad. That is not... You know what? That has got to be a world record. Well done, Leslie from Herefordshire. Fantastic. Well done. Oh, bless you. Thank you.
No, it's all come apart.
Oh, hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. Sorry, we're just going to go BBC style here because obviously we've had this independently verified. Right. Linda, your take on who might have won here?
Definitely. What's your name again?
Leslie.
Leslie's definitely first, but I think, remind me of your name as well?
Yvonne.
Yours is going to be the neatest and the best, because you're doing it the professional way.
Can I say, Christys actually done a phenomenal job here, considering I actively sabotaged him halfway through. Hold it up, well done. Very good.
It's not very
He brought his own sellotape. Yeah.
Look at the state of that.
So in my defence, so in my defence, my mum, also from the southwest, lovely lady, but is actually an evil genius, and every Christmas goes through hundreds of rolls of this stuff, covering every tiny corner to make it impossible to get into, and you end up with no fingernails and sort of bleeding some. So that's the look I'm going for.
Well done.
Copy.
Well, it's an honour. That is an homage to your mother.
Exactly.
Hold it up again. Look at that. I don't know whether she wants to say this, but that is
It's not bad. It's not bad. But that.
If this was an homage to my mother, she would kill me.
But that's the best one.
Because Yvonne on the end has finished. So go on, hold it up. The fruits are going out.
Wow.
But unfortunately, this was a race of speed. So there we go. Benjamin, you know, do you want to chip in here with any suggestions?
I think the only one I'd want to receive is Yvonne's, frankly.
Yeah. Well, there we go. All right. Well, look. Thank you very much. Well done, though, Leslie from Herefordshire. That's absolutely nothing, but the respect of everyone in this room. So I don't even know if there's anything in the boxes. I don't know if we've stretched to a GB News mug, but I suggest not. They are about 20 quid on the shop. So anyway, which I'm not allowed to mention. Sorry. Right. Okay. Anyway, so yes, I need that. Anyway, I've got a lot coming up. We've got a bit of this.
배 같은 믿음과 사랑으로 우리 무족을 사상 정신과 전신.
Okay, is it Kim Jong-un or Kim Jong-un as well? We've got Vladimir Putin, haven't we? Basically, are we living in a Labour dictatorship? Why? He's cancelled more elections. 10 million people are going to be without votes. So what's going on?
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good evening. This is your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, for many, it is going to be a largely dry night to come, and with that, the potential for a bit of mist and fog to develop. And then, out in the west, there's a front that's pushing its way in, and that's set to bring some wet weather across western parts in particular as we go into tomorrow. Before that, though, as I mentioned, it is largely dry. Just a few showery outbreaks of rain across parts of Scotland and perhaps some western and southern counties of England and Wales, maybe a few pushing into parts of Northern Ireland too. Most places, though, having a dry night with clear skies, allowing temperatures to drop a bit chillier than some recent nights. Can't rule out a touch of frost and a few patches of mist and fog first thing tomorrow morning as well. Starting off tomorrow then, it is going to be a brighter story than some recent days this week. A few spots of rain affecting Orkney, a little bit of rain across some southern parts of Scotland as well, but mostly bright, although there could be some cloud around across parts of Scotland, and similar across Northern Ireland, just a few showers towards eastern coastal parts. More sunny skies for England and Wales. Like I mentioned, though, there will be a few pockets of mist and fog here and there. Vale of York, for example, and other prone spots. Any mist and fog could take a little while to clear as we go through tomorrow, but it will eventually clear and lift away. And then, apart from the odd shower here and there, for many it is going to be a fine day with some decent sunshine on offer. Just that front that I highlighted earlier on, pushing into parts of the Republic of Ireland, Devon, Cornwall and South West Wales, brings some wet and windy weather. Ahead of that, temperatures, well, they're a little bit above average for the time of year. Sunday looks set to be a cloudier day for many places. There will be a few outbreaks of rain here and there, nothing especially heavy for most places, just a bit grey, a bit damp at times, but worth noting could be some more persistent, perhaps heavy at times rain across parts of the southwest as we go through the afternoon. Into Christmas week, and it's set to turn drier, but also colder in time for the big day. Bye-bye.
Expect warm spells with the odd rude interruption. Box Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
It's the greatest cash prize of the Great British Giveaway so far. A simply stunning £85,000 in tax-free cash to spend on anything you like, making 2026 your greatest year to date. That could get you that brand new car, extend and improve your home, take you away on that bucket list holiday, or just give you some peace of mind over the coming months. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message, or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
Hi, I'm Michelle Dewberry, and my show is your opportunity to cut through all the noise and dive in headfirst to some robust debates. Ideas clash.
Situation, isn't it?
No,
Because the failure is...
You're
the failure
deliberately avoiding my point. Nothing's held back.
And if you think this is the end of it, wait for more.
And we do not shy away from the difficult stuff. Sometimes I want to shake people and say, if only you understood. So join me on Jubes & Co weeknights at 6 p.m, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Dormy, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Cates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
Britain was once the envy of the world. But look around. A nation that no longer knows what it is or where it's going. A country that's broken. How do we fix Britain? How do we bring it back? Friday night with Matt Goodwin at 8 p.m, only on GB News.
Good evening, everybody. Yes, I'll do this time. Hello, great jacket. Hello, lovely shirt, sir. Fantastic. Oh, right, wow. Thank you very much to our wonderful live studio audience who've gone to a lot of effort to get here. It's 10 p.m. I'm Patrick Christys. Tonight...
Our friends are starving to death in UK prisons! Sandwiching!
Do you have any sympathy for those Palestine action protesters who are out on hunger strike? And...
대 같은 믿음과 사랑으로 우리 무력을 사상 정신과 절신.
Kim Jong-un there, or Kim Jong-un? I mean, Starmer is accused of running a dictatorship now after cancelling yet more elections. Elections for 10 million people. No, gone. Plus, protesters today attacked the King's chair at the House of Lords. What shall we do with them? And Tom Skinner is suing the BBC. He says the Strictly Come Dancing vote is rigged. Will this cap off the worst year yet for the Beeb? Also...
There was never been a proper focus on prevention. This isn't just about how we make it so that victims have a better service. This is also about how we prevent that violence from being able to happen in the first place.
OK, so do boys need anti-misogyny lessons?
No.
Right, what do the women in the audience think?
No.
OK, all right, well, there we go. Anyway, we'll do that on air. On my panel tonight, we have got journalist and broadcaster Linda Jubilee. We've also got broadcasting royalty Christo Fupas. We've got journalist Benjamin Butterworth. And the former Tory special advisor James Price. Oh, and they're back. Ugh. 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 Anyway, get ready, Britain. Here we go. Are we living in a Vladimir Putin dictatorship? Next.
Good evening. The top stories this hour, some breaking news. That documents relating to criminal investigations into the deceased paedophile financier Jeffrey Epstein, known as the Epstein Files, have been published by the US Justice Department. Donald Trump signed a bill from Congress demanding the release of all the Epstein files in the early hours of Thursday, the 20th of November, setting a 30-day countdown for the US Justice Department to publish them. Photos of Bill Clinton are among the latest documents to be released. The former US president can be seen in a pool with Ghislaine Maxwell in one photo and in a hot tub with an unidentifiable woman in another. This picture in the Epstein files here shows Ghislaine Maxwell outside number 10 Downing Street. There's no further context given around the image. Epstein was found dead in his cell at a federal jail in New York in 2019 while he awaited trial on sex trafficking charges. His death was ruled as a suicide. Being named or pictured in the files is not an indication of wrongdoing. Elsewhere, David Walliams strongly denies allegations of inappropriate behaviour and was not informed about or party to an investigation by HarperCollins, his spokesperson says. He was dropped by his publisher HarperCollins. The decision follows a Daily Telegraph investigation into claims the children's author had harassed junior women during his time working with the company. According to the Telegraph, a female employee who raised concerns about Walliams' alleged conduct later left HarperCollins after reaching a settlement which included a 5-figure payment. The publisher reportedly launched an internal inquiry in 2023 after a complaint was made interviewing multiple staff members who had professional contact with the author. A spokesman for HarperCollins told The Telegraph, after careful consideration and under the leadership of its new CEO, HarperCollins UK has decided not to publish any new titles by David Walliams. The author is aware of this decision. They go on to say HarperCollins takes employee well-being extremely seriously and has processes in place for reporting and investigating concerns. To respect the privacy of individuals, we do not comment on internal matters. Well, as I say, Mr. Walliams has now strongly denied the allegations made against him. Bridget Phillipson has been accused of blocking the publication of trans guidance that would force business and public bodies to protect women-only spaces. It's understood Women and Equalities Minister has given a statement to the High Court describing the proposed rules as trans-exclusive and has failed to sign them off more than 3 months after receiving them. That's despite the guidance being based off the Supreme Court's ruling on biological sex. And former Strictly contestant Thomas Skinner is suing the BBC, claiming it rigged voting to get him off the show. The ex-Apprentice star says he has proof that the broadcaster downplayed his public support because of negative publicity. The 34-year-old was the first of 14 celebrities to be ousted in week 2 of the current series. Thomas is also boycotting tomorrow's final, in which he was due to return to take part in the class of 2025 dance. A BBC spokesperson told The Sun, Strictly Come Dancing's public vote is robust and independently overseen and verified to ensure complete accuracy. And those are the latest headlines. For now, more from me in an hour.
For all the latest from GB News whilst you're on the go, get the GB News app. Scan the QR code now to download or visit gbnews.com/app.
Wonderful live audience. Great to see so many of you. Now, Labour are delaying more elections. Nearly 10 million people won't have the right to vote until 2027. I'm sorry, but are we being run by Kim Jong-un?
대 같은 믿음과 사랑으로 우리 무력을 사상 정신과
Or what about Vladimir Putin, anybody? Yeah. See, it works less well, that, because that actually could just be Keir Starmer, couldn't it? But I assure you that behind Keir Starmer's face is Vladimir Putin. But anyway, there you go. Anyway, look, we all know what's going on, don't we? Labour and the Tories are in the toilet, so reform is on the charge. So Labour has asked the Tories if they'd like to delay local elections and the mayoral elections, and both of them have said yes. So 63 local councils will probably have their elections delayed. Local elections in places like Suffolk, East and West Sussex, and Sussex, oh no, Essex, sorry, all the X's. And anyway, they've been put back once, but if the elections are delayed again in any of those areas, it will mean that some councillors will have a seat for 7 years without facing local voters, which is a bit mad, isn't it? Let's just imagine for a second that Reform had won the last general election. And then since then, we had a huge expenses scandal, loads of ludicrous freebies, a homelessness minister that resigned because she wanted to evict her tenants, a corruption minister found guilty of corruption in a foreign country, a deputy prime minister who went over unpaid tax, a chancellor who forgot to get a landlord's licence, the scrapping of jury trials, 30 arrests for social media posts every single day, Orwellian lies on a near-daily basis, a new law saying what you can and can't see online, and policies deliberately targeting sections of society that don't vote for them. In this case, private school parents and pensioners. Oh, and then they cancelled elections for 10 million people. But they did introduce votes for 16-year-old kids to try to ensure that they stayed in power whenever there are elections. Would we not really be saying that this is a little bit dictatory? Yeah. You know what I think? Right, but of course, it's Labour, isn't it? It's Labour, so people aren't hysterical in the streets telling us, oh, Nigel Farage is a fascist dictator. The amount of times you hear this is straight out of the fascist playbook. That's what they always say, isn't it? But no, it's Sir Keir Starmer's Labour Party. It's Sir Keir Starmer's Labour Party. They've got a red rosette on, so it's absolutely fine. Now, I don't know about you, but I am starting to wonder what they taught Sir Keir Starmer at that Czechoslovakian work camp during the Cold War. You know, where he just went off when he was about 16 years old, like a normal lad. We all went there, didn't we? We all went there. I remember I couldn't wait to go to Magaluf, right? I was there, sunny beach in Bulgaria. He goes, Keir, where are you off to with that rucksack? I'm just off to a Czechoslovakian work camp. Fantastic. Brilliant. Brilliant. Anyway, is he behaving a bit like a dictator? Let's get the views of my panel and no doubt people in the audience as well. Christo.
Sorry, I got really excited there during your monologue because you were doing your left-wing voice.
I was, yeah.
I love your left-wing.
Oh, straight out of the fascist playbook.
You actually are sounding more and more like Zach Polanski when you do that. You know that, don't you?
Oh, well, look, I've got a different dentist. Anyway, can I go straight away to the lady on the front row? Is that all right? Because, Yvonne, for the second time this evening, after coming second in our present rapping competition, I believe you are affected, are you, by some of these lack of votes and lack of elections?
Yeah, exactly, I am. So I'm living in Hampshire, I'm on the West Sussex border, and I haven't been able to vote once, and I haven't been able to vote again. So this is the second time around as such, and I'd like to know why you think this is right. You can put a man on the moon, which is a massive thing to do, and yet you can't sort this little tiny thing out of getting people to vote.
It's almost like they don't want to, Yvonne, isn't it?
Well, it's blatantly obvious. It's blatantly obvious to me, and I'm not the sharpest pencil in the box.
I don't know. Saw the way you attacked that box earlier on with the wrapping paper.
I like the word attacked.
Yeah. Well, go on, what do we think?
I love, Yvonne, that your last point of reference for anything that actually worked was when someone went to the moon.
Yeah.
It's like the last time that anything worked in this country. It's outrageous. It's absolutely, completely and utterly outrageous. 7 years without being able to have your say. It's the one day when all of us actually have our say, have like the complete power, and it's the day they most fear, clearly, because of that. Everything leads to that day, and so for that day to be taken away, and of course, you know, they're saying it's because they have to amalgamate all of these authorities, and some of these local authorities, they're going to, you know, consolidate them and make them bigger, and they haven't done it in time. Well, I'll tell you what then, delay it, do the elections as the authorities are now, and then you've got however many more years to then sort it out. You must have done some of the work already. There will be workarounds for this that could have made it happen. And they're deliberately not doing it because they are deliberately denying you the right to have your say. It's like after everything you listed, all the gaslighting, the lies, everything else, it is outrageous.
I didn't know people cared so much about parish councillors as to think it's the biggest thing in their lives. This is
the principle. It's the principle.
If you're listening on the radio, that sound is the scraping of the barrel. What this is, what this is trying to restructure local authorities because there's loads of overlaps, there's loads of waste, there's too many politicians at this level, and if you're going to fix that, you have to obviously restructure it to have elections in the new structure. What would be the point in electing, as you just suggested, hundreds, presumably thousands of people that will exist in authority that is going to disappear and not have any power? What a waste of public money.
Let's go, James.
The point is, because that's where our
you did it as well, by
arrives.
the way.
That's
the Tories did it.
Yeah, and I think it's well, the Tories did it during the pandemic, and I still think actually that was a mistake to do, and there are other ways to get around it. We stopped having elections during the Second World War, and within weeks of it being over, there was an election called, even though we had troops stationed all around the world, we did vote. Hang on, we did. We're talking about 80 odd years ago now. We did voting over several different days, and it had to be tricky because some people had to go and work on farms and go different days. And they said, you know what, even though we've lost 500,000 men and all the rest of it around the world, we managed to do this. We managed to put it all together because it's not just the principle; it's much more important than that. There is a fundamental lack of legitimacy when you don't have regular elections that puts us on the same parallel as these awful dictators that you've been talking about. Also, a lot of important things for people's lives. Social care is done at these levels. Getting your roads fixed, getting all these things are done at these levels. And this is Labour have chosen to do these reorganisations.
That's the point. Why are we spending money
unnecessarily?
Why are we spending money on thousands of extra local councillors and not social care? That's the whole point.
The point is that we're going to have some change, we're going to have some restructuring. But it should be fairly straightforward about how we do this, if indeed we can land a man on the moon and we can do other complicated things. Why can't we do this properly? In no other area of life would this be happening. You wouldn't find your heart surgeon saying, I can't operate today because I've got a bit of a tremor, or, you know...
I'd hope you would.
He'd probably be on strike, in
fact. He would. Hospitals work OK under duress, whatever people say. Corporates work OK under duress when they restructure, when they go through change management. That all works
So you're saying we should elect a load of people...
Can I just say on this as well, where the argument slightly falls down, is because now the government is asking the councils if they're... So it's not like they've got an independent auditor who's gone in and gone, sorry, your council is not ready to have elections, we can't do this. They're asking the councillors themselves, and those councillors in a lot of these seats are about to lose their jobs. So they're going, no, I'm just going to cling on for another couple of years. I mean, it's pretty shoddy stuff.
That independent auditor that you mentioned, the Electoral Commission, has come out and criticised all of this and said that all the reasons for reorganisation are not good enough and the election should go ahead.
Well, can we do the broader point here? Because I don't want to get too bogged down in the weeds of local council elections, because it is important to people. I don't want to diminish that. But it's more, for me, it's about the double standard. Because you've got people here who are cancelling elections for 10 million people. You've got all the other stuff that I just rattled off there. And if the Conservatives had done that, but I think definitely if Reform...
They did do that.
Yeah, but
they literally did it.
They did bits of it. But if Reform did that... I mean, if Nigel Farage came into power and within the first 18 months had cancelled elections for 10 million people and done all of the other stuff that I rattled off, had a massive freebies and expenses scandal, lost a load of ministers, in some cases over corruption allegations and all of this stuff, which they deny, or well, in Bangladesh they've been found guilty of it, you know, all of that stuff, it would be straight out of the fascist playbook, wouldn't it?
No, that is actually fascism. I mean, fascism gets thrown around right, left and centre. That is actually fascism.
Restructuring your parish councillor isn't fascism, mate.
Stop calling it... Stop calling it
democracy.
And also, can I just point out parish councils in order to diminish the fact that it's actual local authorities?
Because you're acting like it's life and death.
Yeah, I think that's unfair, Benjamin.
Secondly, was there anything on your bingo card tonight that thought that you would be arguing against democracy? Did you actually think that?
I tell you what, Nigel Farage...
the left have sung.
Nigel Farage probably would do that because the man lets zero Reform members vote on who should be in charge of that party.
Amazingly, you're blaming Nigel Farage for this.
If you have a problem with democracy, then you should ask Farage why it's a private company and not a political party.
Right, okay.
Where's the democracy in that?
Digression.
A man that throws Rupert Lowe out of the party without a single vote cast. I think that is anti-democratic.
The fact of the matter is, there's no point in demeaning parish councils or local councils because people care about that kind of stuff. They care about what the hang on, I have not finished. So they care about that kind of stuff. Thank you. They care about that kind of stuff. And in specific terms, they care, but also they care about democracy. No one said democracy was easy when things had to be changed around a bit. We think it's difficult. We think democracy's difficult, but we value it, so we make it work.
All right, well done. Right, there was also, I've seen that look before, and I've got to go back to Yvonne in a second, because I want to know if you're satisfied with what you've heard in terms of your question. I suspect you're not, but there's a gentleman at the back who felt so angry, Benjamin, as you were talking, that he waved at me, he said, I've got to speak. Go on, sir, what would you like to say?
Well, I'm a parish councillor at Sherwood
Yeah.
Parish. And we all do it for volunteers. Like, basically, I get nothing from it. So I do it from my own heart, basically.
Yeah.
Disrupts all my family, everything. So with the reorganisation...
Keep that mic close to you, mate. Keep the mic close.
Sorry. With the reorganisation, my question would be, how much cost has been spent so far?
Well, the whole point of doing it is to stop doubling up in the areas affected, where you've got twice as many people doing the job. So it's to save money. Now, obviously, as was pointed out, if you restructure a business, it costs money to do that. But if you then spend half the money for 20 years, it's a saving.
Well, what a shame we spend so much on Chainbox, Erasmus and all that nonsense.
Let's hear him. Go on. Yeah.
The one question, what money wasted, Nottingham City Council so far spent £1.2 million on on the cost of getting advisors to basically look at the whole board.
And you do it out of the goodness of your own heart.
Exactly,
You're you don't make a penny out of it, really. You just do it. And just go on, just quickly, because you did say then that it does affect your family life a little bit. So in what way? For what you do? Time?
Well, my children go to school, so basically, if, like, in our village at Bilsthorpe, we're looking at having a new village hall. So some of the kids will pick on my kids, because obviously I've got decisions to make with the new village hall.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So it does have an impact. So a lot of people will say, I don't need that in my life. I'm just not going to do it. I'm just going to carry on with my job. So thank you for everything that you do. Seriously.
Yeah.
Then that's just a little parish council. It's almost irrelevant. What's the point of the democracy? I mean, can you say that to this gentleman over there? Now, say that to his face. Go on.
I never said it was irrelevant. I said
just a parish council.
I said that the suggestion of restructuring it so that it's 2 years delayed being fascism is patently absurd.
Why do you think they're delaying it, sir?
Me?
Yeah.
They are frightened of Nigel Farage. That is the whole thing. Right.
Yeah.
And the whole reform. I mean,
it's not going to work either, because it's such a powerful campaigning device for Farage and Reform to be able to use, to say, look, they're running for it, but don't worry, our day will come, just keep the faith, hold the line, all these sorts of things. It's going to totally backfire when it gets translated into a general election at this rate.
So I'm just sorry, just to come back to you, just to round us off, because you asked the original question or made the original point on this about where you... So what are you satisfied with what you've seen?
You said Klingons.
Right.
And these are what they had in Star Trek, Klingons. You can't get rid of them. Terrible. And there's another version of that, but we won't go into that. But be very careful, Benjamin. Don't belittle people. We are just little people, and to have your liberty taken away and to have a vote taken away is a major thing.
But, okay,
we're all very little people.
There's such a hypocrisy, because we had a general election last year, and then within months, hundreds of thousands of hard-right people were saying, I demand a new general election because I signed a petition. That's anti-democratic, and yet I bet there's very few people here in the audience that had a problem with that. So I think there's a double standard here. And when did right-wingers of all people start saying we should spend more money on bureaucracy and politicians at all levels of government?
I think that's a very dubious argument.
Yeah, I mean, you said
very
about the barrel scraping. I mean, my God, you've got splinters now.
I mean, you hand out a survey or referendum, whatever, and people sign it, and there's, tens of thousands of people, and they think, because they don't really understand the ins and outs of politics, they might stand a chance of a general election. You can't blame them for thinking that.
But it's not, again, because it's not just about these elections, which are important. There's things like the scrapping of jewellery trials, things like the Online Safety Act. There are things that we cover on here on GB News that if I try to access it on X, It won't let me in England.
What are you trying to access?
My own monologues. They are deemed to be that beyond the pale sometimes. The X goes, oh no, you've contravened the Online Safety Act. I did one about a migrant camp, RAF Wethersfield, where they'd been defecating around the place, and X decided that it was the public shouldn't know about that. I think you've got a right to know if they're kicking off and fighting each other and committing crimes.
So Yvonne said something so important there. She talked about her liberty being deprived. And that seems to be so often in Britain today, to be just a kind of nice to have. And when I was in government and I was dealing with some of the things about COVID, I was the only person in some of these rooms in the Department for Education saying, what about people's liberty? What about their freedom? What about the right of children not to have to wear masks all day, even sat down? And I said that in a meeting, and people looked at me like I'd insulted their mums. But liberty is not a nice to have. It is an absolute fundament of our society. Without that, we have nothing. And that's the point about democracy. And I think the point about jury trials as well, that is something we've had in this country since the year 900 and something, with Ethelred the Unready. And actually the idea goes back all the way 2,500 years to ancient Athens. That is a fundamental liberty of Western civilization. And the way that David Lammy and Keir Starmer treat this like it doesn't matter at all is utterly damning, and history will damn them on this.
And they flip-flop around on the whole subject.
Wow. All right, we're going to have to go.
That's why it's a little bit different to the petition you compared it to, Ben.
Oh, OK. All right, well, there we go. Well, thank you very much, everybody. There's plenty more for you to get stuck into in just a second, because we've got loads more coming up. But before I tell you exactly what it is, of course, it's time for the Great British Giveaway. It's £85,000 in tax-free cash, so have that, Rachel Reeves, and they can be in it to win it.
It's the big one. Your chance to win a whopping £85,000 in tax-free cash. The largest cash prize we've given away to date. That's like over £7,000 a month extra in your bank account each month for 12 whole months. That's a year of yes. Yes to holidays, yes to treats, yes to shopping trips, yes to home improvements. What would you say yes to? For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrants must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. The winner may be contacted live on GB News, week commencing the 9th of February 2026. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
All right. Who's up for a misogyny course? No? OK, well, we're getting one because of this lady.
There was never been a proper focus on prevention. This isn't just about how we make it so that victims have a better service. This is also about how we prevent that violence from being able to happen in the first place.
Yep, the government plans to train teachers to identify high-risk pupils as part of plans to tackle misogyny in schools. They're being entirely honest about where some of that misogyny is coming from, do we think? That's next.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country. There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor. Bold, fearless and standing up for you. That's me, Martin Dawdney, 3 p.m. till 6 p.m, weekdays, here only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
GB News Breakfast, every day from 6 a.m.
Well, it's a long time since I've sat in your knee, Santa.
I remember it very well, Ian.
I'm sure you still have the bruises. We'll just shake hands today.
Well, you're a very busy man, so we're very lucky to get to speak to you.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here. Thank you so much.
Santa, how come now? It's leading up. How long is there to go?
15 days.
15 days to go. all your little helpers, I presume, are working away, getting everything ready.
My goodness me. You know, I have so many helpers, of course, not just in the North Pole, but all over the world. People in this country. As a matter of fact, even my friends at British Gas, they have Santa helpers that look just like me. They've been going to people's homes to make sure that the children are happy, as well as fixing their problems with boilers and things.
Oh, because things can go wrong, even though it's Christmas Day.
Yes, indeed. That's absolutely true, you know. But listen, I'm here to tell you there's nothing to worry about. The elf helpers, my friends, everybody all over the world that helps Santa, we've got the matter in hand. And this is going to be the most wonderful, magicalest Christmas ever.
Oh, it is. Santa, we've got lots of people getting in touch and they're a bit worried because they don't have a chimney in their house and they're worried about how you're going to get in.
Yes, this one comes up quite a lot, but can I let you in on a little secret? The truth is that many centuries ago, the elves crafted a strange, magical key just for me. Now, this key can fit any lock in the entire world. Chimney or no chimney, I can get into every home that is full of Christmas spirit and the love and giving of Christmas.
GBNews, the People's Channel.
Westminster's full of talk, but out here, it's the real world. Am I allowed to talk now? No, that's it. This is where it matters, real people and real lives. That's what politics is all about.
In fact, has Trump made a good start? No.
Straight answers, no spin, and just a couple of pints.
How many fingers have I ever got up?
About 10. So join me for Lee Anderson's Real World every Friday at 7 p.m, only on GB News. The People's Channel, Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, and a massive special thank you, of course, to the people who travelled from Nottingham. I think the furthest travel today are the people who've flown in from Austria to be here. So well done, thank you very much. Just a quick round of applause to those people. Brilliant. Now, young boys in schools continue to be demonised as the government pushes forward with plans to train teachers to identify high-risk pupils who have what they believe to be misogynistic views. Now, it's a long-term strategy, and apparently it's going to aim to prevent the radicalisation of young men. It wants to educate them on issues like consent, sharing of intimate images, and common myths about women, which I'd be quite keen to outline what they are, I think. But anyway, there we go. So Conservative leader Kemi Badenoch, of course, said that the plans were just silly gimmicks and that the government only released them because they spent the whole summer watching the Netflix drama Adolescence. So there we go. Yes, I mean, maybe they have watched a bit too much Adolescence. I don't know. Can I just get, as a show of hands, if you don't mind, from the females in the audience tonight, does anyone here feel as though we do need things like misogyny, anti-misogyny lessons in schools, you know, things... No, not any of you do. None of you do. You don't feel pressured by me into saying no. Right. OK, well, there you go. There's a lady at the back who's stuck her hand up. Can we get the microphone to this woman quickly? Is that all right, please? Thank you very much. Sorry, thank you. Right, go on quickly. Yeah, sorry. That's all right.
I think it should be the parents' responsibility.
Right, parents' responsibility.
Yes.
OK, all right, fair enough. Did you have a point on the front row, sir?
Good evening, panel.
Good evening.
Very similar question.
Yeah.
As I understand it, the government are intending to spend about £20 million on teacher training for anti-misogyny.
Yeah.
Given that there are 20,000 primary schools in the UK, that works out about £1,000 per school, which, from a training point of view, goes nowhere. My question would be, would that amount of money be better spent on educating parents in how to teach their children the difference between right and wrong?
OK. Linda, your views on this?
So I did watch Adolescence. I don't know how many people in the audience did. Did most of you watch it? I watched it twice, actually.
I think it was a criminal offence not to at one point.
Yeah, but well, we should all watch things that are in, you know, the conversation like that. It was an excellent drama. I think Stephen Graham was a brilliant actor in it. He co-wrote it. The young boy got an award for it. It was a great drama. Now, Stephen Graham said he based it on a real case, but it's only loosely based on a real case. It's not a factual thing. It's not a documentary. And the whole way the government reacted to this when it went to air just completely baffled me. This is a very serious situation, but this is not the way to approach it. You have to give parents support. If you remember, there's a scene in Adolescence where Stephen Graham and his wife are sitting upstairs, their boy's in jail for murder, by that stage, alleged murder, and they're baffled. What was he doing in his bedroom night after night after night after night? That's the problem. The problem is what is going on online, and the problem is that the internet is teaching too many of our kids, and the parents lose control. They need to be given some sort of support, some sort of training, so that they have the confidence to actually get up and raise kids, because that's what's missing at the moment.
All right. Yeah, go on. Who wants it? Who wants it?
Can I just... I'll be really quick. I worry about how... I worry about what's not going to be in these lessons. There is a real issue at the moment when we've got violence against women. I think everyone would agree that that is a big issue. But there is also a massive issue about violence that men commit to themselves, because we have a suicide epidemic among young men. They are connected. That is an anger. That is young men who feel rudderless. They don't know the direction that they should be going in. And that is, I think, the problem that is then manifesting itself into violence. So trying to address that, I don't think is a bad thing. My worry is that this is going to be a stick to beat working class white boys with, to make them feel worse about themselves. That it's and my worry is also about what this is not going to include rather than what it is. So are we not going to include cultures? You know, are we going to have a situation where you can say to a young, Muslim boy that, sorry, this is misogyny, but when you go home, the women in your household are going to be wearing full face veils? That is going to be a disconnect.
Well, and FGM is a big thing.
They're not going to have those conversations. They're not going to have conversations about the lack of fatherly role models, where, that's a big issue when it comes to sort of broken families and young boys not having someone to look up to. So my worry is that it's going to be about what isn't included rather than what is.
Just quickly on this, guys. James, I believe that Jess Phillips was asked directly about, are some cultures a little bit more misogynistic than others? And she did the classic, well, they're all men thing, didn't she? She can't really identify what some of the issues are in some places.
It's funny that, and Jess Phillips is one of these MPs who almost lost her seat to an independent candidate at the last general election. There was harassing of her, screams and shouts at the count. She was clearly scared. She remains, I think, clearly scared, and I would be scared if I were her as well, by the threats from, and these were Muslim independents who were screaming these things, and we've seen this in these cases. I'm very glad that Christys said this. There's a school not far from here, actually, where it's a primary school, and it's mandated in the dress code that girls from the age of 8 must wear hijabs and cover their hair, and they may wear it from the age of 5. It doesn't say that for boys. So whilst I agree completely that it should be a core conservative and British tenet that we have the parents do this, what happens when the parents don't do that? What do we do as a state?
Do you think we need it?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we clearly have a problem, which is that boys in this society don't know what their place is. They don't know what their value is, where their boundaries are, and you've got dangerous people like Andrew Tate, a man who has admitted to and celebrated strangling women and is accused of running sex trafficking rings, that we know from teachers, they say all the time, they're watching those videos, they're buying into the aggressive version of masculinity that he sells. Now, when you've got that vacuum, you need something else there to give those boys a purpose. Happy men don't beat their wives, and they also probably beat themselves up. It is not OK, and you have to give them the skills and the apparatus to know how to behave and to understand themselves.
What you could do in practical terms is you could start employing more male teachers in primary schools, because there aren't enough of them.
But can I just add that when boys and kids are making hateful, unpleasant comments when they're primary school age, often it comes from parents who set them up with those views at home. So when you've got that situation, you need teachers.
OK. All right. I'll tell you what, we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we might hear from someone on the front row, but we'll see. Yet to make her mind up, which is fair enough. Right, OK. Lots more coming your way. Bit of this. Protesters today attacked the King's chair in the House of Lords. I'll tell you exactly what they wanted very shortly.
I forecast a perfect holiday in the sun. Weather looking good then?
For sure, and no worries about our travel insurance.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
If you're contemplating a trip overseas at the moment, it is dry at first this weekend for many places, but low pressure will develop and it will bring increasingly heavy rain to many by the end of the weekend. We do have some rain to talk about. Parts of the south of Greece, southern Italy seeing that rain at first. Drier for the rest of Italy, dry for much of Iberia, but in between weather systems, a front pushing some rain into Portugal later. And then a developing area of low pressure will turn things increasingly wet across Italy and Greece.
All Clear Travel Insurance sponsors GB News Travel Destinations Forecast.
Good evening. This is your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, for many, it is going to be a largely dry night to come, and with that, the potential for a bit of mist and fog to develop. And then, out in the west, there's a front that's pushing its way in, and that's set to bring some wet weather across western parts in particular as we go into tomorrow. Before that, though, as I mentioned, it is largely dry. Just a few showery outbreaks of rain across parts of Scotland and perhaps some western and southern counties of England and Wales, maybe a few pushing into parts of Northern Ireland too. Most places, though, having a dry night with clear skies, allowing temperatures to drop a bit chillier than some recent nights. Can't rule out a touch of frost and a few patches of mist and fog first thing tomorrow morning as well. Starting off tomorrow then, it is going to be a brighter story than some recent days this week. A few spots of rain affecting Orkney, a little bit of rain across some southern parts of Scotland as well, but mostly bright, although there could be some cloud around across parts of Scotland and similar across Northern Ireland, just a few showers towards eastern coastal parts. More sunny skies for England and Wales. Like I mentioned though, there will be a few pockets of mist and fog here and there. Vale of York, for example, and other prone spots. Any mist and fog could take a little while to clear as we go through tomorrow, but it will eventually clear and lift away. And then apart from the odd shower here and there, for many it is going to be a fine day with some decent sunshine on offer. Just that front that I highlighted earlier on pushing into parts of the Republic of Ireland. Devon, Cornwall and South West Wales bring some wet and windy weather. Ahead of that, temperatures, well, they're a little bit above average for the time of year. Sunday looks set to be a cloudier day for many places. There will be a few outbreaks of rain here and there, nothing especially heavy for most places, just a bit grey, a bit damp at times, but worth noting could be some more persistent, perhaps heavy at times rain across parts of the southwest as we go through the afternoon. Into Christmas week, and it's set to turn drier, but also colder in time for the big day. Bye-bye.
You want to know what's really going on in the corridors of power? Labour don't know what to do with you half the time, and that makes you quite lethal in the chamber. Get behind the headlines with Chopper's political podcast. Join me, Christopher Hope, as I sit down with the great and the good of British politics. We'll see where this ruling takes us. These are the stories shaping our nation. Chopper's political podcast, available now on all platforms. Listen in and stay ahead.
Decisions made in Washington aren't just shaping America, they're shaping Britain too. From migration to global security, from crime to health. Whatever happens in the White House today
will be felt in your town or city tomorrow.
That's why The Late Show is live from Washington, D.C.
Cutting through the politics to show you what it all means for Britain.
The Late Show live every night at midnight.
Only on GB News,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you very much to everyone who's made the journey to be here. Right, so today, 3 activists have targeted the King's throne inside the House of Lords. But what do they want? Well, the protesters climbed barriers during a guided tour, and then they unfurled a banner that said, "Replace the Lords." And then they were detained by police. However, they were later released without arrest or charge, which I find quite wrong. OK. Anyway, they're a group called Assemble. So we've got a load of these people now, haven't we? Just these random groups that pop up. We've had Youth Demand, we've got this Assemble, what's the Wealth and Stop Wealth or something.
Yeah,
another one,
what's
isn't
the
it?
Tax the Rich one.
Eat the Rich, whatever it is.
It's the Labour Party.
Yeah, it's the Labour Party. Anyway, the group Assemble says that it wants to abolish the House of Lords and replace it with a Citizens' Assembly, insisting the action was not aimed at the monarchy. They just did it to the King's chair. They probably didn't even know what it was, did they? Anyway, look, should we abolish the Lords? What do we do about these relentless pressure groups that seem to be coming up now? What do we think? What do we think?
Definitely don't abolish the laws. But unfortunately, the Labour Party said in their manifesto that's what they want to do. They had that, so maybe that document they were holding up was the Labour manifesto. Of course, in that time, Starmer has put in, what, 100 people, 90 people, something like that.
Abolish it. Why have they appointed so many
because he's got a lot of mates he's got to pay. I mean, sorry, he's got a lot of expertise he needs. He's got a lot of expertise he needs to have because he doesn't have it from his parliamentary party. These guys, by the way, there's an easy place to put them, and it's the Tower of London, Streisand.
Well, it's not, yeah. But there's very much a hang 'em and flog 'em vibe with the audiences that turn up here, let's be fair. And right, there's a lady on the front row who would like to make a point. Hello, what would you like to say?
Hi there, good evening, panel. Hello there, thanks for having us, by the way. Do you believe this government is incompetent, that the King should pull a hung Parliament, as we do not trust this government?
The King should just dissolve Parliament.
Yes,
Stop
pretty
it.
much,
Right.
yeah.
Well, it would be a strong. I mean, it'd be a strong thing for the King to do. Unfortunately, I think Charles might be slightly more in favour of this government than we think. But yes. Anyway, but Christo, what do you make of this? Incompetent government.
It is. I mean, this government has got the opposite of the Midas touch. Everything it touches turns to, well, I'll say poo-poo, shall we say that? It does. Everything they touch, they can't go near anything without screwing up, even when they have a grain of a good idea. You know what we were just talking about in the last part where we were saying, well, actually, maybe young boys are a bit sort of directionless. You can absolutely guarantee if they go anywhere near it, they'll screw it up. They will absolutely screw it up. Charles can't intervene. He can't, because if he does, then that is the royal family gone. And you can imagine Lammy and the rest of them rubbing their hands in glee, going, another institution we can get rid of, brilliant, wonderful, you know, we'll move into Buckingham Palace. So, and as for all of these mad left-wing groups, I'm very disappointed you didn't use a left-wing voice to describe them, actually. But as for all of these mad left-wing groups, I don't understand what they've got left to protest about. Because, as you said, I mean, you may have joked about it, but taxing the rich, well, that's what they're doing. Sort of saying that they'll get rid of the laws, well, that's what they said that they would do. You know, with all of these eco groups, well, we've got Ed Miliband, what more do you want? So why are they protesting?
Highest electricity prices in the world.
You've got all of the madness that you want. You've got it all. Stop protesting.
I mean, we have a People's Assembly. It's called Parliament, so tick, they got it. I mean,
you don't like elections, so what's that got to do with anything?
Who in this room agrees that the King should get rid of the government? You do? You do? But a minute ago...
I think it's not just because you want the government out, though. This is it. You see, okay.
But a minute ago, you were hectoring for getting rid of a parish councillor, and now you should think the actual elected national government should be thrown out because you don't like things mid-term. It's obviously absurd.
But wanting the King to do it and actually saying, right, actually the King should, is two different things. I want the King, if he could, to get rid of this government, but we know that would not be something he could do.
I'm tired of these fringe groups like Assemble or whatever it's called, or those epping pink ladies. I think they're all ridiculous. But the fact is that we have a democracy and they're allowed to protest. It's a part of our fabric of our society.
I think that's highly ingenuous to bracket this Assemble group with pink ladies. I'm allowed to have an opinion.
I'm asking you why.
And so I'm going to explain. I think that Assemble is a woolly, mealy-mouthed organisation that's gone in, bought a ticket, you know, created some kind of act that doesn't mean anything at all. They weren't charged, they've been let go, they've gone away. But to equate that with mothers and women and who are deeply concerned about their children, their young girls, their teenage daughters, I think is terribly, terribly unfair.
And maybe we should send you some of those misogyny lessons.
Wow, yes. First in the queue for Jess Phillips's misogyny lessons.
Women protesting. You don't like the women protesting, do you?
Well, OK.
I don't have a problem with
We're just going to move on. Right, OK. Right, so up next, it is, of course, time for Greatest Britain Union Jackass, which means that, obviously, it's all down to you in the audience. Well done, by the way, for everyone who's asked a question tonight. Thank you very much. Lovely stuff. But, yes, Greatest Britain Union Jackass when we return.
Britain deserves a newsroom that puts the facts and your voice first.
Well, and that's what you get on GB News. Lively debates, lively conversation.
And we're not afraid to hold power to account.
And each other. So join me, Andrew Pierce.
And me, Miriam Gates, for Britain's Newsroom, weekdays from 9:30 on GB News.
This is GB News, Britain's news channel.
Thank you, Matt. Let's hear now from the King.
This is a season when our thoughts turn to celebrations with our friends and families. In the midst of this festive period, I just wanted to ask you to join me today in finding a special place in your hearts and your minds and prayers for the hundreds of thousands of people across our United Kingdom who receive a cancer diagnosis each year, and for the millions more who love and care for them. I know from my own experience that a cancer diagnosis can feel overwhelming. Yet I also know that early detection is the key that can transform treatment journeys, giving invaluable time to medical teams and to their patients the precious gift of hope. These are gifts we can all help deliver. Throughout my own cancer journey, I've been profoundly moved by what I can only call the community of care that surrounds every cancer patient, the specialists, the nurses, researchers and volunteers who work tirelessly to save and improve lives. But I have also learned something that troubles me deeply. At least 9 million people in our country are not up to date with the cancer screenings available to them. When bowel cancer is caught at the earliest stage, around 9 in 10 people survive for at least 5 years. When diagnosed late, that falls to just 1 in 10. Early diagnosis quite simply saves lives.
Join me, Nana Akwe, for an informative, interactive news programme with a difference. It's fun.
No, he didn't say that, Dave.
I'm so surprised.
I think there's an element of truth to that.
Join me from 3 p.m. every weekend, only on GB News, Britain's news channel.
In the GB Newsroom, we bring you the news as it happens.
With our team of dedicated journalists across the UK, we're ready to keep you up to date with what's happening every half an hour, every single day. Bulletins here on GB News, the People's Channel,
Britain's news channel.
Welcome back. Thank you so much to everyone who's made the journey to be here. I really do appreciate it, especially this close to Christmas as well, so thank you. Now, let's do Greatest Britain Union Jackass, round off the show in style. We're going to start with Greatest Britons, and I think we're going to start from the left and work our way to the right. So, Benjamin, who is your Greatest Briton?
Well, she's Australian. I don't know if she's actually a dual citizen, so it might be honorary, but she has just taken the Christmas #1. She's a national treasure. It has to be Kylie Minogue, who is now the first person to have a #1 in 4 decades, and her song XMAS is the Christmas #1 today.
Really? I've not heard it.
Yeah, no, it is good. It's the dance that counts, though, isn't it?
Ah.
And who doesn't love
we've
Kylie?
got it at the back here. There you go. How do you know it? Right. Brilliant. Oh, good. It's a good song. It's got Ben's seal of approval. You love it. Right. Great. Well done. OK, so Kylie Minogue, good start. OK, go on, Christo.
OK, a bit more of a serious one, also from Australia, honorary, but I'm going to go for Ahmed Al-Ahmed, who was the man, probably the bravest act I've ever seen in my life. Disarmed one of the horrific Bondi Beach gunmen.
Yeah, very strong stuff. OK, all right. A mixture of light and shade so far. Who's your Greatest Briton?
Mine's a little bit similar, and it's collectively, I saw all the surfers at Bondi Beach go into the sea today in this big ring. Look, there it is on the screen. As a kind of, you know, we're not going to give in. We are Australian. We are going to be Australians, and this was so iconic. I thought it was tremendous, actually, a tremendous act of courage.
Oh, well, there you go. Wow. Go on then, James, who's your Greatest Briton?
Well, I'm going to look so parochial now. We've got all of these beautiful Australians in the ocean. People have seen all these petitions. You can sign these online petitions all the time, and most of them are just ghastly left-wing rot. Well, someone, he's called Ed Lewis, don't know who the guy is, so I'm not being bigoted or biased here at all, has got this petition out that says, please sign it if you think you should ban government bodies from calling things that are actually paid for by taxpayers as free. So you can no longer, Keir Starmer, say free this, free that, free the other, because it's all you people paying for it. I think that'd be great.
So my listen quickly, please, actually, because there's a bloke in the audience who's won the best shirt of the evening, so you can't come into a studio and not expect to be on telly at some point. Can you stand up for us? Is that all right? Okay. Is it Santa riding? I nearly said something else there. It's Santa's sleigh, isn't it? And a reindeer. Fantastic. Well done, mate. Thank you very much. Right, OK. So, right, we need to decide. So, is it going to be Kylie Minogue?
Yes.
All right. Is it going to be, sorry?
Ahmed Al-Ahmed.
The Bondi Surfers. The Bondi Surfers. Oh, I think so far. The petition to stop describing taxpayer-funded things as free. Sign up here. There we are. Right, OK. Now, let's do Union Jackass. Yeah, you thought you were shooing. No, you fundamentally misread the room. OK. Who's your Union Jackass?
Well, for my Union Jackass, as we all prepare the roast potatoes for Christmas Day, I thought it was only right to nominate a sack of spuds, and so that's Thomas Skinner. The man who couldn't dance for toffee, who thinks it was a fix.
Oh, well, this is the story that he is suing the BBC, apparently, because he believes he has proof that the BBC rigged the public vote against him.
People have eyes.
The BBC said that they did not. Let's go, Christo.
OK, I'm going to nominate Birmingham City Council. Now, I don't know if you saw the ridiculous video they put out this week where they were, like, championing their new city centre bollards, and it was they said it was in order to stop hostile vehicles.
Yeah.
It was basically in order to stop people running people over in sort of terror attacks, but they said it was hostile vehicles. Now, I've met a cantankerous Cortina and a horny Honda, but I've never met a hostile vehicle other than that. So it was such ridiculous language, and they were championing it, so them.
Yeah, good. Yeah, more bollards of peace everywhere.
Yes.
Fantastic. Right, go on. Who's your Union Jackass?
So I think Jess Phillips for the misogyny programme. A proper serious subject, badly approached.
OK. Go on then, who's your Union Jackass?
I was cycling down Park Lane last week and I heard something. I took my earphone out, hoping it might be some Christmas carolers. Instead, it was a crowd of hundreds of gentlemen, maybe not gentlemen, screaming Allahu Akbar over and over again, calling for the release of a convicted jihadist terrorist.
So just them?
Yeah, all of them.
So these are
Jackasses, plural.
I like this. So basically, so for people won't know, James very kindly filled in at quite short notice tonight. I think he's been a wonderful addition to the show, so thank you. But I like the fact that when you were asked who Union Jackass is, you just went, those blokes I overheard. There's something very British about that. Yeah, brilliant. Just, OK. So, Union Jackass, Tom Skinner, anyone? No? No, you're on a holding to nothing with that one. We've got the Bollards of Peace in Birmingham. Yeah. Good Union Jackass territory there. Sorry, Lily, forgive me, what was your one again?
Jess Phillips.
Oh, Jess Phillips. Yeah. The random assortment of men James Price heard while cycling down Park Lane, shouting about a convicted jihadist.
Outrageous.
Can't wrap a Christmas present.
Yeah.
People win this one.
Yeah,
but I'm going to win strictly next year.
Yeah. And if you don't, it'll be rigged. Right. Can I just say, we've only got a few seconds left, so thank you to all my panel. Great stuff. We do have all the front pages coming your way for the next hour, but can I just say a massive thank you to everyone in this audience? We really do appreciate it. Coming from far and wide to be here this close to Christmas. I hope you have a lovely Christmas, and thank you for watching this year. Take care.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boilers sponsors the weather on GB News.
Good evening. This is your GB News weather update from the Met Office. Now, for many, it is going to be a largely dry night to come, and with that, the potential for a bit of mist and fog to develop. And then, out in the west, there's a front that's pushing its way in, and that's set to bring some wet weather across western parts in particular as we go into tomorrow. Before that, though, as I mentioned, it is largely dry. Just a few showery outbreaks of rain across parts of Scotland and perhaps some western and southern counties of England and Wales, maybe a few pushing into parts of Northern Ireland too. Most places, though, having a dry night with clear skies, allowing temperatures to drop a bit chillier than some recent nights. Can't rule out a touch of frost and a few patches of mist and fog first thing tomorrow morning as well. Starting off tomorrow then, it is going to be a brighter story than some recent days this week. A few spots of rain affecting Orkney, a little bit of rain across some southern parts of Scotland as well, but mostly bright, although there could be some cloud around across parts of Scotland, and similar across Northern Ireland, just a few showers towards eastern coastal parts. More sunny skies for England and Wales. Like I mentioned, though, there will be a few pockets of mist and fog here and there. Vale of York, for example, and other prone spots. Any mist and fog could take a little while to clear as we go through tomorrow, but it will eventually clear and lift away. And then, apart from the odd shower here and there, for many it is going to be a fine day with some decent sunshine on offer. Just that front that I highlighted earlier on, pushing into parts of the Republic of Ireland, Devon, Cornwall and South West Wales, brings some wet and windy weather. Ahead of that, temperatures, well, they're a little bit above average for the time of year. Sunday looks set to be a cloudier day for many places. There will be a few outbreaks of rain here and there, nothing especially heavy for most places, just a bit grey, a bit damp at times, but worth noting could be some more persistent, perhaps heavy at times rain across parts of the southwest as we go through the afternoon. Into Christmas week, and it's set to turn drier, but also colder in time for the big day. Bye-bye.
Warm and cosy, with a chance of zero visibility. Boxed Boiler sponsors the weather on GB News.
It's the big one. Your chance to win a whopping £85,000 in tax-free cash. The largest cash prize we've given away to date. That's like over £7,000 a month extra in your bank account each month for 12 whole months. That's a year of yes. Yes to holidays, yes to treats, yes to shopping trips, yes to home improvements. For another chance to win £85,000 cash, text cash to 63225. One entry costs £2.50 plus one standard network rate message. Or text bonus to 63225. 5 entries cost £5 plus one standard network rate message. Go to gbnews.com/win. Entries start at £2.50. Call 0903 686 3232. Calls cost £2.50 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and number to GB18 PO Box 8690 Derby DE1 9TT. UK only. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close at 4 p.m. on the 30th of January. Please check the closing time if listening or watching on demand. Good luck.
From the school run to the home run, watch a new show for all of Britain.
He can say whatever he wants.
A straight-talking show where all voices are heard.
And, you know, when are we going to stop talking about smashing the gangs and actually do it?
With the stories that matter from every part of our country.
There's a bit of a crash landing there for your Chancellor.
Bold, fearless and standing up for you.